Hey guys, I'm Athena. Though I'm not the youngest around here, I've got a story you might find interesting. It's about how I finally got back at my ex, Kingston, and his mom, Mary. Took nearly 8 years post-divorce. But hey, revenge is a dish best served cold, right? Now I'm flying solo, and honestly, after the roller coaster of my marriage, I'm not exactly eager to dive back into dating. But hey, at least I've got my revenge to keep me company. Kingston and I met through work, thanks to a colleague's cousin. Sparks flew at one of those anniversary parties. At first, he was all charm and sweetness. Sure, he wasn't swimming in cash, but I saw something in him, so I took a chance. Things were great initially. We were that couple, couldn't keep our hands off each other. But as time went on, Kingston's true colors started showing. He criticized my spending habits, saying I was too frugal. Like seriously, just because I earn more doesn't mean I gotta splurge at all, right? But nope, he kept pushing, making me feel like I was hiding my money from him. Total BS. His words stung, sure, but I figured maybe I was being unfair. I mean, I did earn more, so maybe I should be spending more, right? Yeah, I fell for that trap. So I tried to make him happy, even footed most of the wedding bill myself. And don't get me started on household expenses. I was coughing up over 70%. At the time, I thought I was just being a supportive partner. Ha! Talk about being blind to the truth. However, I never imagined I'd be taken advantage of in the name of love. Just a few months after marrying Kingston, his mom moved in with us. Yep, she just waltzed right in with her suitcases. She goes, "So Athena, surprised to see me? Well, get used to it. I'm moving in." What? Hold on, Mary. Who gave you the green light to just barge into our house and make yourself at home? Calm down, Athena. I invited Mom over. She's staying with us now. Why all the drama? She can't fend for herself forever. But Kingston, we never discussed this. How could you make such a decision without consulting me? Look, you make enough money to take care of all of us. So I didn't think I needed to consult you. Besides my mom, my money, my house. I was livid with both Kingston and Mary for disrespecting me like that. But I had no choice but to let Mary stay. Our rented house was in both our names. Even though I was the only one footing the bills, Kingston hardly ever had money for anything. In the 5 years we were together, he never bought me a single gift. Now, I'm not one for extravagant gifts, but his lack of effort in the relationship bothered me. And then I was stuck paying for his mom, who didn't lift a finger around the house. One day, I couldn't take it anymore. I confided in a colleague about Kingston and Mary, and his face fell. I knew he was hiding something. When I pressed him, he dropped a bombshell. Kingston was addicted to gambling. He'd lost his previous job for stealing cash. I felt like my world was crashing down. At first, I refused to believe it. But then he showed me screenshots of their conversations, with pictures of Kingston gambling with girls around him. I was sickened. I marched home and confronted Kingston. "I know all about your gambling, Kingston, and your theft. What's wrong with you?" "Please, Athena. Not everyone wants to be a penny-pinching middle-class worker like you. I'll make millions. I'm getting good at it. We'll be rich soon." "You're out of your mind, Kingston. And where did you get the money for your gambling? Your savings account had some good cash. Came in handy for my games." I froze. One betrayal wasn't enough. He'd secretly been dipping into my savings. I was devastated, screaming at him for touching what was mine. I'd worked tirelessly for years to build up those savings, only to watch them disappear due to Kingston's gambling addiction. As our argument escalated, Mary intervened, predictably siding with her son. "My son is smart, Athena. He'll hit it big with gambling. You're picking fights for no reason. Your money is his money, and he can spend it however he likes." "Absolutely not. That money was earned through hard work and sacrifice. I've been shouldering the household expenses practically solo, unaware that Kingston had lost his job and resorted to stealing from me to fund his addiction. Don't insult my son like that. He's doing you a favor. You're incapable of success on your own. Only Kingston can make something of his life. You're useless. Useless. You have some nerve calling me useless when you've been using my money. Neither you nor your son have lifted a finger to help me. I'm done with both of you. Kingston is a failure who will never amount to anything. I'm leaving. That was the moment I knew I had to divorce Kingston. Despite my love for him, the betrayal was too much to bear. I couldn't stay with a man who thought nothing of squandering my hard-earned money on gambling. I'd grown weary of our marriage long before. Kingston had shown no signs of improvement, so I made the decision to file for divorce. But getting an amicable divorce was a nightmare. My ex pulled out all the stops, begging me to stay before resorting to blackmail, threatening to take half my assets and demand alimony. His mother joined in, harassing me to reconcile. It took months of legal wrangling, with my lawyer finally convincing him to relinquish his claims to alimony and his share of the assets. I even threatened to press charges for bank theft due to his unauthorized withdrawals, which ultimately forced him to sign the divorce papers. At the end of it all, I still lost a significant amount of money due to Kingston's gambling. But even then, Kingston and Mary had one final insult to throw my way. You haven't won, Athena. You're just a worthless witch. Sure, you might be earning a lot now, but mark my words, one day I'll be richer than you. You'll come begging to me for money. We won't forget this insult, Athena. You abandoned my son and me when we needed you. One day you'll pay for it. Kingston will be more successful than you. Oh, we'll see about that. Let's wait and see who ends up doing the begging. Once the divorce was finalized, I left my job and moved to another state, eager to start fresh and put as much distance between myself and Kingston's family as possible. I landed a lucrative promotion, working hard and climbing the ranks over the years until I became a director, a dream come true. Meanwhile, Kingston continued his gambling habits and squandered whatever little money and assets he had left. He and Mary eventually moved to my state to escape their debtors. But then, a twist of fate, Kingston married a wealthy heiress, Riley, whose father was a business associate of mine. He complained to me about Riley and expressed suspicions about his new son-in-law. He also griped about Mary, calling her a freeloader. I stayed silent, knowing it wasn't yet time to take my revenge. Life was good for me until Mary unexpectedly called one day. Hello, Athena, it's Mary. I hope you haven't forgotten me. How could I forget Mary? The dear mother-in-law who mooched off me for years and helped her son steal my money. What's up? Well, Athena, my son isn't the failure you claimed. He's married to a beautiful girl now and has a new job that pays him $120,000 a year. Looks like he's finally successful. Your loss. I couldn't help but laugh. To me, her words were absurdly funny. Most of what she said was a lie. But she didn't realize that I already knew the truth. Instead, she seemed quiet and confused. When I finally got my laughter under control, I said, First of all, dear ex-mother-in-law, Kingston only gets $60K a year. There's no reason to lie to people, you know. And yes, I already have all the information about him. What do you mean? Are you accusing me of lying to you? And who told you that he earned $60K? Well, no one had to, Mary. Do you want to know how I found out? My assistant was the one who interviewed him yesterday. That's impossible. There's no way you're related to the company. It's a big enterprise, and you're just a worthless woman. Here's some news for you, Mary. I am a director at this company, so I'm well aware of how much Kingston can actually get. By the way, you're bold assuming he has got the job. Well, my son is pretty smart and won't have trouble getting the job. You and I both know that. Here's some more news for you, Mary. I checked his name on the list of candidates, and my assistant placed him at the bottom. Like I said 8 years ago, no sane company would hire him with a gap in his record. And don't worry, I will gladly inform his beautiful wife just how you and Kingston have been fooling her. When I said this, Mary started to change her stance completely. I could tell that my words got to her. She might be old, but she's not that dumb. I knew she had already Googled to see if my name popped up in the company. By now, she knew that I wasn't lying. So, Mary resorted to begging. Okay, Athena, look. I see you've made it big in life, but you should also understand that my son has a lot of contributions to your success. You should keep that in mind and give him the job. Can't you just stop making me laugh, Mary? After everything you two have done, do you expect me to help you? I mean, you called me today to gloat about Kingston's apparent success. I just want people to know that he's not a loser. I was trying to prove a point. Anyway, he's married to a rich and beautiful girl. I'm sure she's even richer than you and will support him. Is that so, Mary? Then I think he will have no problem with me telling her the truth. I did see you on her Facebook. She thinks her husband has a 120 job and owns a lot of properties. Mind if I tell her the truth? No, Athena, listen to me. Don't do this to Kingston. You've come so far in life. Why do you want to dwell on the past? Have some pity on us and give Kingston the job. This is the least you can do after being such an unsupportive wife. I made it abundantly clear to Mary that I wouldn't lift a finger to help Kingston. He was perfectly capable of destroying his own reputation, and I had no intention of vouching for him, not even professionally. So instead of bothering me with their fake boasts, Mary should focus on helping her son find a job. Trust me, she would need all the luck she could get. After that, I hung up the phone, ignoring Mary's subsequent calls. I had no interest in indulging her tantrums. Instead, I swiftly got to work, instructing my assistant to send rejection letters to all the unsuccessful candidates, including Kingston. I wanted him to experience his humiliation firsthand. True to form, Kingston called me within an hour of receiving the rejection letter. I picked up, eager for a front row seat to his humiliation. He sounded desperate, nothing like the arrogant jerk I'd divorced. What do you want, Kingston? I see that my dear ex-mother-in-law gave you my number already. Athena, I know you're one of the directors at the company I interviewed for. I just got the rejection letter. Please do something and help me get the job. I know you can help if you want to. Why do you think I would jeopardize my professional life for you? Do you think I'm mad? You have some nerve to ask me for a job after all these years. Look, I know I didn't treat you right back then, but I was still your husband. We do have some good memories. Please consider those and give me the job. My wife, Riley, will leave me if I don't get a job soon. I know that you've lied to Riley about your financial situation. Guess what, Kingston? I know her family. I also have her number from her dad. All I have to do is tell the truth and let her be free. Kingston went silent after hearing this. I knew I'd hit the jackpot with this information. My real revenge had just begun. He immediately started begging me not to tell Riley about everything. I hung up on him without another word. Next, I sent a quick text to Riley, asking her to call me. I explained who I was and hoped Kingston hadn't reached her before me. When she did call, I didn't mince words. Hi, Riley. My name is Athena, and I'm your father's friend. I also happen to be the ex-wife of your now husband. There are a few things you should know about Kingston. He has been lying to you. What do you mean, Athena? What is he lying about? Well, I guess you think he's pretty rich and up to your family standards. Well, he's not rich at all. You posted on Facebook that he got a 120 job. I'm the director of the company he mentioned, and he only applied for a 60 grand job, which he didn't get. What the hell are you talking about? But he told me. I know what he told you, Riley. I've seen it on your Facebook. I know you might not believe me, but you can ask your dad. He can easily find out if Kingston is lying. But I don't understand. Why would Kingston lie to me? Because he wanted to take over your inheritance and properties. He always wanted a luxurious life for himself, and he's a gambler. Unfortunately, we divorced because I refused to fund his lifestyle, support his gambling habits. His mother supports him. Anyway, I don't know what he told you, but that's the truth. You can ask around if you're doubtful about me. I don't want you to be stuck with a liar and a loser. Thank you, Athena. I'll dig for more information and find out. Also, don't worry. I made him sign a prenup and only agreed to remove it once he gets a job. Looks like that won't be happening after all. With that, I finished my part of the revenge. The aftermath was glorious. Mary and Kingston initially kept calling me and begging me to help them. Meanwhile, Riley was on Kingston's case and uncovered the truth herself. Her father was also furious and promised to see the end of Kingston's lies. After 2 days, the tone of the texts I received from Mary and Kingston changed. They called me a witch and a jerk for destroying Kingston's marriage. Riley and her dad confronted him and filed for divorce. Since Riley still had the prenup in place, none of her assets would go to Kingston. Instead, Kingston would now have to hire a lawyer to work through the divorce. Mary and Kingston kept harassing me until I threatened to expose them online. That made them stop contacting me. Last I heard, Kingston still comes by our company to see if there's a position open. Sources say that Mary and Kingston are constantly fighting about money problems. I guess now Mary will finally know what it's like to be stuck with a man-child for the rest of her life.